In the previous lecture, we added two actions to our toolbar. In this lecture, we are going to add a specific function for each of our actions. To do this, I open the Java folder. Inside the first folder, I open the main activity class. Just like the items of our pop-up menu, once the user selects each of our actions, the onOptionItemSelected method is executed. Using conditional statements for each of my actions, I can define a specific function. I'm going to continue these conditional statements, and I type else, otherwise, if id equals r dot id dot search underscore id. This means if the user selected the search action, then execute the codes inside this block. Else, otherwise, if id equals r dot id dot cart underscore id, which means if the user selected the cart action, then execute the codes inside this block. For each action, you can enter your desired code inside the if blocks. To check whether our condition works or not, I'm going to copy the toast I defined above earlier. And I paste it inside these two if blocks. But I changed the text. So, what I did was I defined a toast for each of my actions, and once an action is selected, my toast with my desired text is displayed to the user for a short time. Let's get output from our project. Alright, our application was run on the emulator for Nexus 6. I click on the search action. As you see, the toast is displayed to us. I'm going to click on the next action. Yes, that's it for the second action. Depending on your need, you can add necessary code inside your if blocks. Alright, that's it for how to add an action to the toolbar. There's only one discussion left about actions. Note that in some applications, an action named back is used in the toolbar. This action is placed alongside the toolbar title. For example, the AliExpress shopping application has a back action. This action is used when returning from an activity or for quitting the application. We can easily add this action to our toolbar using this method. Alright, I go inside the onCreate method. After I defined my toolbar, I'm going to type get support action bar dot set display home as up enabled. If we set the value of this method to true, the back action will be added to our toolbar. Just as simply, I do this. Now let's get an output from our project. Yes, you see that the back action has been added to our toolbar. Very easy, by just writing a single line of code. Now I want to define a function for the back action. I stop the emulator. Inside the onOptionItemSelected method, I define a condition for this action. Following the conditional statements, I type else, otherwise, if id equals. By default, the id for the action is back. Android.R id home. Once we select the back action, the code inside this block will be executed for us. You can enter your desired code inside this block. I define the finish method over here. Once the finish method is executed, our activity will close completely. And if we have an activity inside our application, we will leave our application. Let's get output from our project, run, using Nexus 6 emulator, and OK. Alright, our application was run. If I click on the back action, my activity must be closed. I do this. Yes, as we expected, by selecting the back action, the finish method will be executed for us. First, our activity was closed, and since we had one activity in our application, we exited the application. Okay, the discussion of toolbars ends here in this lecture. Thank you very much for being with us so far. Make sure you do for yourself once more all we did in this section. In the next lecture, we are going to get output from our toolbar project. Don't miss it.